Hey, good morning, everybody. I figured, why don't I just try and do this with my eyes closed? We hit 3 separate NBA parlays last week, and all I did was roll out of bed, show up, use the Odd Shopper Premium tool with you, and we hit 3 separate NBA parlays, going 50% in 6 days last week with 3-leg NBA parlays. Ain't bad. So I figured, why not? Why not? I could probably do this with my eyes closed. I mean, we're getting to a point, mind you. Now I'm self-producing, so I kind of have to like little bit here. But we're getting to the point where I could probably make you money with my hands tied behind my back, blindfolded, and mute. Let's head on over to the Odd Shopper Premium tool, shall we? I mean, my God, this thing has worked for us multiple times over. Today, we're in Pennsylvania and on FanDuel. What is the Odd Shopper Premium tool? It's a market-based approach, meaning, as I've mentioned multiple times, you don't need to know a thing about what you're betting. The algorithm we have on Odd Shopper is finding the best possible leg for you to put in your parlay. Each leg has to be plus EV. Therefore, the parlay is plus EV. If you have 1 or 2 minus EV legs, that's a poison pill in your parlay. So we have Joel Embiid under 49.5 points, rebounds, assists. Sixers taking on the Bulls at home. Nothing else matters. The fact that we have a 6% positive XROI means this is a plus EV leg. Joel Embiid under 49.5 PRA against the Bulls at minus 115 on FanDuel is beating the market. So we know right away we have a leg that starts, which is pretty strong, at 6% of a positive XROI. This is a plus EV leg. Well, you know, the Sixers, 8 straight. It doesn't matter. Stop adding layers to this. I just put this out on Twitter last night with a play in the NHL using the Odd Shopper Premium tool. Had a guy say, well, you know, he has.
I'm looking at all of your memorabilia in the background, Greg, and I'm realizing, so I've got a new like 16 by 20 Shaq autograph picture, which like a couple of years ago I was opening stuff on Upper Deck EPAC, which is like typically like a virtual kind of store, but also like you can usually, for cards, you can have it shipped to a place called ComC where you'll be able to sell it there, so they can do it for you. They list it, you give a price, they sell it for you. But they can't do that with a picture. So 2 years later, I was finally like, fuck it, I'll just have it, ship it to me. So I just got this new, I've got a Shaquille O'Neal and a Ben Simmons autographed 6x20s because I opened those in packs a couple of years ago. And my wife is saying I should just put it up on the wall. I'm thinking I might just sell it because like, I'm not like a huge Shaq fan. It's like I just happen to open a Shaq.
Well, if you ever want me to shit on the Ben Simmons one, you can mail it to me.
And maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's the best use.
What's happening, everybody? It's Monday, which means myself and Neil Orfield, the Flannel God, we're breaking down another So Rare slate. As you guys come in, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked out one of our So Rare shows, here's what Neil and I typically do on Mondays. We sit here for 30 minutes. We answer any questions you guys have about the So Rare product, the upcoming slate, which runs from Monday through Thursday. We've got projections, which are totally free over at Stokastic.com. Just threw those into the YouTube chat. And what we're going to have in the projections is, well, projections. It's going to tell you which players we're expecting to score the most fantasy points for the upcoming slate. And Neil and I use those projections to build out our So Rare lineups. And also, we check to see what prizes each of us have won over the course of the last slate. We're looking at Neil's account right now. And by the way, as you guys come in, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't signed up at So Rare yet, use the link in the description box below. Because when you click on our link and sign up, and you make 5 limited card player purchases, you're going to get a 6th one for free. And that is an offer you will not find anywhere else. But Neil, what's happening? How was your weekend? And how was your last So Rare slate?
So it was a little bit rough. So the last one, we actually had Ant in the optimal. So of course I had to play the optimal.
Mm.
Had my boy in it, and then of course he got hurt early in that game, and in the first game of the slate. So kind of tanked my slate right away. Kind of a bummer for this latest. But we've got a few new cards to open. I did win a limited tier 2 last week.
Nice.
It was actually in the contender competition, not the champion one. That is my bread and butter. So as you coined that phrase, right? My bread and butter.
Yeah, I believe so. It was more of a joint effort, but we have determined that it is your go-to. This is your best contest.
It is.
And the Edwards thing, because you and I were talking about it, what we're doing live before lock together on Saturday, and we were talking about Edwards because he'd just been ruled out a little bit before. Now apparently he might play again today. He's not in a walking boot anymore. What kind of Wolverine healing powers does your favorite player have?
He's shown it before. So last year in the playoffs, I was at a game and I saw something happen to him where he's like limping off, being like carried off by like 2 other people. And I was like, shit, like Ant is done. Is his next season in jeopardy? I thought that he had torn an ACL or something. And then he's back in the game like 15 minutes later. Went from like the worst possible, like, oh my God, my favorite players, looks like he's got like a season ending, probably going to be out for a good portion of next year injury. And then he comes back into the game later. So he definitely has some Wolverine healing powers. I still don't think he plays tonight, but we can hope.
Yeah, as Mike, who's producing the show, says in the YouTube chat here, Timber Wolverine. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he's got, and if I'm not mistaken, the other day, that was the first game he's missed this season, correct? Like Edwards very rarely misses games.
He doesn't like to miss games. I don't know if it was the first that he's missed this season. I hadn't been paying attention to whether he's missed any, but he definitely has not missed many. He does not like to miss games. So I think that's the only reason he was questionable, is because he's going to be fighting to play even if he's in some pain. I don't know that it's even best for him to come back right now. I think they probably need to rest him a little longer.
Yeah, just looked it up. We do have Anthony Edwards this year, and really easy information to find on dunks and threes. Edwards, out of 72 games for the Timberwolves, has played in 71 of this year. So only that one game was missed by him. And yeah, he's somebody who's been pretty vocal about he doesn't like players sitting in tail end of back-to-backs and all that. I think it's easy to say when he's, 22 years old?
Yeah, exactly.
He might have a different feeling on that when he's 32 and he's been in the league for, double-digit amount of years. But at least as far as tonight goes, currently listed as questionable. We're not sure if he's in or out. It is something that when we get official word, if he's ruled out, our projections will be updated in real time, and you guys will be able to see who the best value plays are in his absence, should he sit. But in the meantime, we've got this slate to talk about, and let's look at some of the rewards that you won, Neil. If you wouldn't mind, Mike, show Neil's account on screen, and we're going to do our normal thing here. We're going to look at the prizes he won. We're going to pull the packs open. Let me make this bigger on my screen so I can see. You got 4 of them. And the best prize you're going to be pulling here is the tier 2 limited, you said?
Yep.
All right. Let's open this up. We'll save that for last. Let's do the commons first, Mike. Whichever one you want. That one, yeah, let's click on this. What is this, tier 4 it looks like?
I can't even read what the tiers are.
Yeah, it's very tiny. All right, so we're going to pull it up. It's always hard for me to see anything that's on the screen share through Zoom.
Yep.
See what we got here. Was that the Denver Nuggets? It was Reggie Jackson. By the way, they got a new picture of Reggie Jackson fairly quickly here. He was ready to pose for his new
that's right.
photo.
Impressive.
Yeah, so Reggie Jackson, probably not somebody that you're going to have interest in playing, at least not for this slate. Here's something that could change, though, going forward. So there's only one game for the Nuggets. We don't expect them to be in the rotation. I would not be surprised, though, if down the couple final weeks of the season, something like that, we see some rest games for Jamal Murray. That's where Reggie Jackson could end up starting and becoming a really good value. But for now, not going to be playing Reggie Jackson this week.
Yeah, but that's a good point. In future weeks, certainly this could be a valuable card to have.
So let's pull up the next comment. And what is this, tier 2? Oh, tier 3. To be honest, I guessed. I knew I had a pretty good chance. John Collins? John Collins might not even be a tier 3 anymore. We've talked about his downfall as a DFS asset.
Yeah.
And early, he was probably like tier 2 to open up the year, but
yeah,
been rough goings for him lately.
It has been. All right, DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter, very good value for the upcoming slate, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
I have not looked at my common cards that closely, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, DeAndre Hunter, last 10-game salary, 22, and we have a projection of 29 for him on the upcoming slate. 2 games for the Hawks. That's always good to see. And is there anybody on the injury report right now for Atlanta? Pull that up and see what's going on. Oh, forgot. They don't play today. They play tomorrow. So let's see what they have tomorrow. Nothing too significant. Jalen Johnson's questionable, but yeah, we just got DeAndre Hunter as a guy that projects well. So that's always good to see.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter, good option. He's shown some ceiling in recent games. So there we go. There's a playable card, particularly for this upcoming slate. And now let's open some of these limiteds. Let's see what it is that you could get here. And Mike, what is the tier on this one?
This is a tier 5.
Tier 5. All right. So this is probably going to be a fairly crappy player. We'll see. Maybe one of those, maybe it'll be like a Tyus Jones situation. You get somebody who's a backup that's about to move into the starting lineup or something, or not. Or not.
Peyton Watson. I was like, I don't even know what this guy's first name is. I can't read it, and I don't know who Watson is on Denver. Peyton Watson. Never heard of him.
No, I don't know if he's gotten into a game this year.
I'm guessing this is a rookie card, so that's cool.
I would hope so. There aren't that many players I'm not aware of their existence of.
Me neither.
Peyton Watson would be one of them. So Peyton Watson, if you had to guess, has he played in a single NBA game this season? Yes or no?
No, I don't think so. Ooh, am I wrong? Is that what Mike's showing us?
Incorrect. You'd be incorrect. Peyton Watson hasn't played since March 28th.
Oh wow.
But he's actually logged some minutes this year. Now it's been about a month, but he has played in 14 games this season and played a total of about 40 minutes.
Good for him. Maybe he'll get some run, just like Reggie Jackson. Maybe Denver rests all the starters.
I don't have a positive spin on this one. I'm going to say that is a dead card. Yeah. The tier 2 is going to be a playable player at some point, though. Feel pretty good about that. All right. See what team it is.
Heat.
Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
I nailed it. All right, there's a good one.
That's actually, he's pretty good value this week too, isn't he?
Let's see. So Bam Adebayo is projected to be pretty decent value. His last 10 average is only 33. We've got him projected for nearly 39. And this is something that when I was doing my VOD that I did just my solo one, and I actually had Bam Adebayo highlighted for the last slate. The reason being is because, and I think this is also something you and I had talked about on one of our DFS shows the other day, we're getting to a point in the season where there's a lot of teams that are on the fringes of the playoff race. Either seeding is really important or whether they are going to make the play-in game or not. And that's where the Heat are at right now. They're right in between the 6 and the 7 seed in the East. We're seeing Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo both play bigger minutes. It's led to them being better values in a type of format like So Rare. So Bam Adebayo, yeah, I think that's a good pull right there. I think you should feel good about that.
Yeah, I don't mind that one bit.
So let's, by the way, we've got a Kickstarter here looking for the holographic Raymond Felton. Yeah, we've got Eric is convinced. He was telling everybody that he beat Raymond Felton at basketball while Raymond Felton was still in the NBA. Nobody believed him, but we've definitely got the YouTube chat still hanging on to it. They still remember. Let's build some lineups now. So I've got the projections pulled up in front of me. Totally free to use. Drop those into the YouTube chat before. If you guys want to follow along with us, or if you're building your own So Rare lineups, it is really easy to find the projections over at Stokastic.com. It's totally free. You just click on the NBA tab, then you go all the way down to where it says free NBA DFS data, and then you go to So Rare. And then you go to the So Rare NBA projections, and that brings you to the projections. And here's what you're going to find on this page. The projection, it's how many fantasy points we expect them to score in the upcoming slate. The last 10 average, that's the equivalent of the player's salaries. This is what their cost is, you know, like apropos to like what FanDuel and DraftKings have. There is no dollar value over on So Rare, but players are just priced based on what their average fantasy output is over the course of the last 10 games. So if you find a player like Tyus Jones, who was stepping up in place of Ja Morant when Ja Morant was out, those players are immediately going to have a lot of value. And that is what the value column shows. It is the differential between the projection and the last 10 average. And then all the way to the right, always useful to look at how many games do the players play on the upcoming slate. You're not going to get scores for multiple games, but if a player plays in 2 games, you get the best score of the 2, a la a best ball type format. So it is definitely advantageous, mitigates some risk when a player plays 2 games as opposed to 1. So those are the things you guys should be keeping an eye on when you're looking at the projections tab. Now, Neil, have you built out any of your lineups yet for this upcoming slate?
I have built up my lineup. Yeah, we should play that game again. I will say, the lineup that I built out, you could find on the Stokastic page because we now, as of like the last week or two, we have optimal lineups now on the stochastic projections page as well. That's a new feature there. So don't look at it, Greg. Don't look at it, because let's see if you can find it on your own.
Yeah, I won't. But we do have tabs that say contender optimal plays. We've got champion optimal plays, and then we've got our NBA projections. But yeah, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to look at it. I'll shield my eyes from looking at my screen right now. Looking away. Not looking at it, Mike. Not looking. All right, so let's go to the
limited champion is
limited champion. All right. So we're going to pull up the limited champion, and let's try to build out the lineup that I believe that Neil Orfield built. Starting with Joel Embiid's going to be the MVP. No doubt about that. You know how I know that it's going to be Joel Embiid?
Because he's the highest projected play on the slate.
That, and also because you didn't have him in your cards the last time we did this, which leads me to believe you went out and got yourself a Joel Embiid.
Yep. Correct.
Deductive reasoning.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see, what next? So we've got Joel Embiid. Who are the other values that project really, really well? I can tell you, he doesn't project well. The players who are out. The players who are out as I look through our projections. And all right, top value plays. I'm interested. Does he have a Kai Jones in there? If he has a Kai Jones in there, then I know it was for this slate. Yeah, there it is. All right, click on Kai Jones. So Kai Jones has a salary of only 9, and he's playing the backup center minutes right now for the Hornets. There is no Mark Williams. Mark Williams has an injured thumb. I don't even know if we have an expected return date anytime soon for Mark Williams. I'll go check that out right now.
So he's like Cat. He's like the new version of Cat. You just never know. Is he ever going to play again?
And also the Hornets, this part of the season is so unimportant to them. They're not even reporting on it. It's just he's out today. I don't think they've given any updates on a potential return for Mark Williams. So that is something to keep an eye on. But as of right now, yeah, Kai Jones backup minutes. He's so cheap for so rare purposes that you just get some of these games where he might go out, he plays 15 minutes, scores like 18 fantasy points. He's a great so rare value. So we're going to get Kai Jones in there.
37 per player remaining.
So it's a little bit more expensive then. Maybe somebody on the high end. I don't think he went with it. Well, so this is where it gets tough because I don't think you played I mean, you might have played AD. I know that you aren't playing Edwards. I assume you're not playing Edwards for this upcoming slate. You don't want to risk it.
Yep.
I don't think Edwards is a bad play if he's available. It's just so risky. We have no clue if he's going to be in. And then even if he sits this game, does he come back for the next game? Hard to say. But I'm going to guess, and AD is a tough one because he only has the one game. He doesn't project extremely well on a points per dollar basis. But do you need that salary in there just to offset some of the really cheap value you have? I'm not sure. It's a possibility. I'm going to leave that spot for last.
I never know if I should be giving you hints as you go, or just kind of let you,
I try to read your mind. I try to pick up on the nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
I look deep into your eyes.
You usually do a pretty good job of it. Usually.
All right. So Desmond Bane, I think, is going to be in there. I'm going to say that Neil probably went a little more balanced. All right. So click on Desmond Bane. I'm pretty sure I remember there being a Desmond Bane in there. Oh, there's not. Never mind. I thought there was for some reason. So no Desmond Bane. Does he have...
See, I think it's harder for you to read my mind this time because I use our optimal lineup rather than just like going with my usual build. So I think you're maybe being thrown off by... I built a little bit different than I usually do.
Oh, wait, there's a TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell is going to be in there. Yeah. All right, TJ McConnell's... No, wait, no, but we still want Kai Jones too. Bring back Kai Jones. Bring him back. Oh my God, he's gone forever. All right, so Kai Jones, TJ McConnell. And what does that leave us for average remaining salary, Mike? 44.
44.
Okay, so then it definitely has to have AD. And now what do we have left for that final spot?
38, which is everybody but Ant and Randall.
Okay, so then Ingram would be next. And that leaves what? Two salary left?
4.
Is there anybody we could upgrade Kai Jones to? I have a feeling it's a no, though. Kai Jones is so cheap. So it would be Kai Jones is 9, so it would have to be somebody who costs 13.
All right, let me give you a hint. So I don't actually remember the exact lineup, but I'm fairly sure that both Kai Jones and AD are not in this lineup.
Okay, so we'll take. By the way, I don't mind this lineup though. I think this is a decent one.
Yeah, this looks like a totally fine lineup. Like if I had these cards going in, I would totally run with this lineup.
So I just assumed that you were playing Kai Jones because
because I did buy it today specifically for this contest, and then ultimately.
Oh no, put Ingram back in. Ingram's. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what spot he's in, Mike. All right, so let's see. What does that leave us for average remaining salary?
32 per player. 64.
32. So Bam, by the way, would be a potential addition here. But who else projects extremely well for us? Do you still have a Nurkic by chance, Neil?
I do.
Okay, so put Nurkic in there. And that would leave how much remaining?
44. Anybody but Ant and AD.
All
so
right,
Randall or Quickly or Bam.
All right, so Randall then. Because the Knicks play 3 games on the upcoming slate. So I think Randall's a really good option. I don't know if this is a lineup you built. If it's not, this is better than the lineup you built.
The only one that I don't think is the same is Nurkic maybe is upgraded slightly. So look,
okay.
I mean, and I don't know if it's a clear upgrade there.
All right, so not Nurkic, who are the other players that we have the access to in that same price range?
Joe Val.
Oh, we probably do have Valanciunas projected better. I didn't realize you had him. All right, so Valanciunas over Nurkic, and we're done.
And that's just the optimal lineup. There's no.
Okay. It's pretty damn good, though.
It is a pretty damn good lineup, right? I mean, there's some risk in this one, I think. With Valanciunas in particular, I feel like is fairly risky here. Everybody else, I mean, Embiid obviously safe. McConnell's starting. Randall's going to look good. Ingram's, yeah, I think J-Val is the only one that I'm like, it's just so volatile. It's a little bit risky, but I think it's
also play. 22 is his salary.
Right. Exactly.
You know, that's the equivalent of, I'm trying to think, what would a 22 salary be the equivalent of on DraftKings? It would be like getting Valanciunas for what, 4,400 kind of?
I was thinking more like 54. Maybe you're right. Yeah, because what's the average salary going into a slate on DraftKings? It's, I guess, 5,000.
Yeah.
And he's 22, so you basically have 30 per spot. So yeah, I guess it's 40s, somewhere in the 4,000 range.
Yeah, so some of the playing time variance with Valanciunas, I really think gets mitigated when you think about him that way. It'd be like, hey, he's like 4,400 over on DraftKings, so it's load up on. It's not exactly the same because there's the MVP spot, which kind of fudges some stuff around. But yeah, there we go. I like this lineup. I think it's a good one. Yeah,
it's a nice lineup. Yeah, submit that one.
Limited contender time.
Limited contender time, and I'll give you a hint. I also played the optimal in limited contender.
Okay. So let's register this. And this one is no MVP, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
110 total.
Okay. So this one, we have to be a little bit more cost sensitive. I'm going to throw Kai Jones into this one and just see where this kind of lets the rest of the pieces fall. And by the way, we might as well put Nurkic in this one now. Nurkic is still a very good high upside play.
That brings us back to 27 per.
27? Okay. So I don't even know if we would go all the way up to AD in one that doesn't have an MVP. If we had the salary, obviously, you just go with AD. I just don't know that with him playing one game, that's where we need to go for this slate. So I would actually start at the top. Oh, you have another McConnell.
I do.
Oh, you have another McConnell and another Valanciunas. Click on both of them.
Now we have 37 for the 5th.
All right, scroll up.
Just like last time. Anybody but AD or Ant?
Yeah, so now this one I would go with Bam now. And I know that Bam also only has one game for the upcoming slate, but he's so cheap that I think it's okay. But let's see if there's anywhere else that we would potentially want to upgrade. How much salary do we have left?
4, so it would only be Quickly.
No, but it wouldn't be Bam we would upgrade. It'd be one of the other spots, or we could downgrade somebody and upgrade somewhere else. Because something else we could do is we could downgrade Bam and maybe upgrade Kai Jones or something.
I can tell you that is what we would do. Actually, apparently so I'm looking at it now. We only have 2 of the players in the optimal in there right now, and those are do you want to guess, or I just tell you?
So I'm gonna guess McConnell is one.
McConnell is not one.
I'm gonna guess Valanciunas is one.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm gonna say
Nurkic. I was wrong. McConnell is one. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we do have 3 of the 5 correct.
So McConnell, Valanciunas, Nurk.
Yep.
Okay. So then I'm going to guess the other option is we would take Kai Jones out, we would take Bam out, and there must be somewhere else to upgrade players.
Yeah.
Putting together the puzzle pieces. I always like doing this. It's always a fun exercise. So let's see. Who are these other cheap players? Prince is an interesting one because he projects decently right now. I don't know if he pops up in our optimal lineup, but he projects decently right now. And if Edwards is out, he would look even better.
Right.
I don't know if that was something you considered here.
It was. He's not in this lineup. So because I just put in, again, it's the optimal stochastic lineup. I bought that preemptively because I could see him becoming optimal once Ant is ruled out.
Out of curiosity, if we click on Prince, how much salary does it leave us with?
31.
And then who's 31 if we scroll up? If there's anybody priced around there.
Green or THT or Tyus Jones.
All right. So Green looks like a really good option, projected for 39 for us. Talen Horton Tucker, who I spelled his name incorrectly, is projected for 34. And then the other one is Tyus Jones, who is currently projected for 35. Also a very good option. But let's click on Jalen Green. He's the best of all of those. And does that use all of the salary now? Let's see if there's anybody we could upgrade Prince to. What are the salaries on Hayes and Amarui?
And then you also have John Collins and Gabe Vincent at 16. Oh, and Knicks.
Okay, so the answer here is going to be John Collins. If you take Hayes out and put in Collins, I'm pretty sure that looks like what we would have projected the best. Is that correct, Neil?
That is correct. Yep. You got our optimal lineup.
We have figured it out. So our best projected lineup for the limited contender here is John Collins, Yusuf Nurkic, TJ McConnell, Jonas Valanciunas, and Jalen Green. This is not one of the ones that has an MVP spot. So that was also something I was kind of thinking about. I was like, all right, we have to be a little bit more cost sensitive in this. That was why I started with Kai Jones, thinking that he would be somebody that makes sense there. But
I tricked you by buying one.
Yeah, it was all to fool me. It was all to trick me, and it worked. Did a good job because I'm always trying to use logic to try to figure this out. And it's like, why else would you have a Kai Jones?
I said, aha, Greg is going to use logic here. And why else would I have a Kai Jones? So yeah, fooled you.
It reminds me of, have you ever heard Norm Macdonald tell the professor of logic joke?
I don't think so.
I'll send it to you after. It's very funny. Yeah. But anyway, I was just trying to use some logic to navigate your lineups. And the easiest way for me to do it is to just look at the cards and be like, all right, who's here that was not there before? Right. This is probably something that Neil bought for the purpose of this slate, which you did. And then it looks like you just didn't really need the Kai Jones at all. Yep. Do we have anything else that we could build out really quick? I know there's only a couple minutes left.
I have not bought the cards for it, so we can't build out for it. I want to hear your thoughts on the other the defense only contest that they have running in limited, because I was thinking about possibly trying my hand at that, which we don't have projections for it, so it is something that we have to think about on our own. But I'm just like looking at the players who lead the league in rebounds per game, who else has good blocks and steals per game, because those are the only 3 categories in that one are blocks, steals, and rebounds in the defensive one. So I was looking at some of the top players there. Do you have any thoughts on who you would want to play in I'm based on our, I guess it's tough because we got to know the salaries too. That's a big factor here. But I was thinking like Walker Kessler, but then he's actually more expensive than I expected him to be in terms of salary.
Yeah. So by and large part, we're going to be focusing on big men.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what all their salaries are off the top of my head, but
yeah,
I would think somebody like Mitchell Robinson would be much better for this. And let me see, what is Robinson's salary? Mitchell Robinson's 24. That might be a little bit steep. Actually, where is Nick Richards?
Oh yeah, Nick Richards might be good.
Nick Richards is 20. That's also fairly expensive. I would say the GOAT of this would have to be Jaren Jackson Jr., but he's questionable himself.
Right.
Which makes this a little tricky. Kai Jones might not be a bad option.
Yeah, I could play the Kai Jones here. That might actually be a way to go.
Let me look at the recent games for Kai Jones. Yeah, I'm going to say Kai Jones is a really good option for this. He actually has a block, at least one block in 5 consecutive games. And we have such limited sample size to look at when it comes to Kai Jones. Since Mark Williams got hurt, Kai Jones has at least one block in every game and has at least one steal in all but one of those games. And he's averaging over 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah. No, he could be pretty solid.
So Kai Jones, that would be some utility for him.
Rudy Gobert would probably be pretty good in this. Averages around 12 rebounds, block and a half per game, almost a steal per game.
Yeah.
He's also
watch him get
questionable,
rolled out with his fake injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing we talked about on our show, it's really tough because he's listed as questionable every game, but he ends up playing. So it's like, do I want to tell you to go out and spend money on a Rudy Gobert? And then we find out this is finally the day he sits. Yeah. I'd probably be more apt to just avoid him. But
yeah.
If he plays, I agree he'd be good for this format. It's just hard to know.
Actually, Mike, can you put my Sorare back on the screen just for 1 second? Because I want to show something off.
Oh, look at you.
And you see it, you can see it right here. The top. Look at that red one. Look at the serial number on my beautiful Gorgie Jang. Serial number 41. It's his jersey number on the serial.
Oh, look at that. A jersey number.
I had to buy that. My Gorgie Jang. Yeah. He doesn't have a Top Shot moment. So I saw a Gorgie Jang available here. I think this is new. I think this is new to have a Gorgie Jang card. Already has the Spurs number 41 on. Just had to love that card.
Neil's favorite player, Gorgie Jang. If you guys want a Gorgie Jang or perhaps even better players, go sign up over at Sorare using the link we have below. And it's totally free to sign up and make an account. And then after that, if you guys want to get comfortable playing some free contests, there are some different common contests where you could win some limited player cards. And then when you're ready to move up, you purchase 5 limited cards to get 1 for free after you use our link to sign up. That is going to do it for us today. If you guys haven't done yet, do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out all the other content we have today. Neil, you did a solo Sorare video as well?
I am about to do a solo Sorare video as well. Yep.
So be on the lookout for that, guys. Good luck. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to be on live before live.